I'm making this movie. This is the TMZ interview. Um, with this video, it might be kind of long, so feel free to jump around at different parts if you want to. But I'm going to play the entire interview. That way, it's consistent for everybody. There's no confusion anywhere for everybody. So we'll start at the beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Northwest's father. No. Was good? Kanye and John.
Northwest's father is it's kind of like he's a big deal. And if you pay attention, this is exactly what I was telling you about. This is exactly the handshake I was saying. There's nothing else I'll say about that.
All right, thank you so much. So, first of all, thank you so much for coming here and doing this. I want to start with what everybody is talking about because I don't think people necessarily understand what happened last week with the Great America, Make America Great Again hat. So, everybody wants to hear from you.
Yes, pay attention. You see that hand? Kanye West is rebelling.
And I want to have a discussion about it. What drove you to that? What was your point? What are you trying to do with the message you're sending?
Well, it was really just my subconscious. It was a feeling I had. You know, like people were taught how to think, we're taught how to feel. We don't know how to think for ourselves. We don't know how to feel for ourselves. People say feel free, but they don't really want us to feel free. And I felt a freedom in, first of all, just doing something that everybody tells you not to do.
All right, so pay attention. His idea around this entire interview is emphasizing freedom. Also, he's literally saying, hey, look, I'm rebelling against the establishment. I am rebelling, and it's bringing me freedom, and I feel free. So it's not like he's rebelling against something that's good. He obviously is rebelling against something that's very bad, very well orchestrated, a concerted effort.
Like you can't do it for this reason, you can't do this for that reason. So, and I'm not coming up here to justify anything. It's, you can't tell me nothing. I made the song. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't tell me what I'm, supposed to do. And also, it's like the idea of icons and representations. I don't.
Another important thing, icons. He does not like icons, like you will hear. Very important point to bring up in the Holy Bible as well. They're absolutely against idols and icons and stuff like that.
I don't subscribe to icons. You take like the Nazi symbol, if you go to India, it's all over the place. But it doesn't represent that. It represents something different. So for me to wear that hat means I want to make America great in my own way.
So pay attention to how he played those words out. It's very important how he played those words out. What he did was he knows how identity politics works. So he separated himself from being identified, being conflated with, Donald Trump. And then he said, okay, look, don't play identity politics with me. It's just me, myself, and I. This is all me. So it's actually very, very smart. And I don't know if he meant that or not, but just the wordplay is very intelligent.
Were you wearing the hat specifically to show support for Donald Trump? Or was it a bigger statement about reason? Was it a bigger statement about free thought?
I mean, I'm an artist, right? So to ask an artist, there's infinite reasons. There's infinite reasons to the why an artist does something. An artist doesn't need
Like I was
suggestions. An
saying,
artist needs
with the
paintbrush
artists and
and
all
a
that, think
canvas.
of them like
So
on a
just
white
focusing on
canvas, and they're
photography,
just
I'm probably gonna do
filling it in
the
with color.
least
That's
of
what they do.
explanation on
So
why.
he's not going to
I'm
explain
just
why.
connected
He's just
with
filling
the
in the white
universe,
canvas with
period.
his
You know,
expression.
I'm
So
just, and that's gonna come off
as an
wacko,
artist,
wacko,
he leaves it for
jacko,
the
this
other
and
people
that.
to interpret.
Because that's what the media is trying to do. They're attacking me with these smoke screens that I'm not gonna fall for. Like I see you got Daz Dillinger on it. So they put a media takeout that said the Crips have a hit on Kanye West, right? And I said, wow, this is really like the Malcolm X movie. They're really gonna send some black people to kill me. And then when I read it, it said the Crips are gonna be.
So there you go. He brought up a very important figure, Malcolm X. If you don't know a whole bunch about Malcolm X, I recommend that you just do your own research. I'm not going to waste your time about it, but there's an important reason why he brought up Malcolm X. And unfortunately, yeah, Malcolm X was murdered by black people as well. But like I said, if you want to know the reason why, I'll let you look into that.
When they see him, and I was like, "Ah, oh, that's so
So
dope." They love
Kanye,
me. That's like my
he was like,
brother.
"Oh
I'm gonna
man, I'm
beat you
gonna
up.
die,"
Like, man, you get that
but
line,
getting
bro.
beat
You
up,
tripping? I'm gonna beat you up. I was like, "Ah, oh, man, that's
that
love,
ain't no
man.
big deal.
Dads love me, and I love dads." And
You're not taking it seriously? That's how you took it when you saw the video of Daz.
oh, you could live through an ass whooping. You ain't gonna live through, what I think that probably the idea is to beat sense into me, but you know,
The whole beating sense into him is it's like shh, be quiet, man, shut up. Um, that's really what it is. It's not like, oh, you're crazy. We're gonna knock you out so that you can think straight again. It's like, it's more like a dude. You're stirring the pot. Shut up. That's what it is. Because he's disrupting the establishment. You know what I'm saying?
when you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, he was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? Like, it's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race. Blacks and whites being one race. That we're one. We're the human race. We're human beings and stuff. And eventually, you know.
Can I go back to something you just said? Because I don't want to let it pass. You said that slavery was around for 400 years. At a point, it becomes a choice.
Yeah, right now we're choosing to be enslaved. We're like, okay, so Ebro, I FaceTime and I'm there with Candace, right? And Ebro starts bringing up his version of facts, right? And Candace has facts. She's researched, right? Candace Owens has facts. She's researched, and then Candace just pulls out her Jedi lightsaber and just, chops Ebro's head off with facts. Then Ebro FaceTimes me the next day, and he's talking about the scoop, he wants to talk about music now. I said, yo, you don't have Candace on your show? He's like, no, I'm not. She's mean. So you're going to stifle her voice, Ebro. You're choosing to enslave people's mind.
So there you go. Very, very important thing to note right here. This will connect with my next video for Childish Gambino. This is America Interpretation. Slavery is a choice for 400 years. To a certain degree, I understand where he's coming from. And the example that he's using is basically the black community will not unite in order to break from the bondage and to be free. So he actually gave an example that happened recently of, one black individual suppressing the views of another black individual. So the division within our race is a huge factor for the longevity of our slavery.
You're choosing to not let the truth be free.
Can I give you my translation of what happened last week and tell me if it's right?
Okay.
The way I see it, you don't necessarily embrace the views of Donald Trump as much as you want to show people that they shouldn't be intimidated from showing their true feelings, expressing themselves freely, and that the hat is a lightning rod for this kind of free thought that is lost in our society because people get bullied and shouted down and they're intimidated to the point where they have to shut up. Is that fair?
It's the mob. The mob tries to tell you what to think. The mob tries to make all blacks be
The mob.
For food stamps and stuff. It's the mob.
We'll call that the liberal establishment. We'll make that simple.
Candace asks her, she's gonna drop you the facts.
So there you go. So he's, bringing up, okay, the liberal establishment is literally, working this concerted effort, from the shadows, and that is that's making life so difficult, that people are being intimidated and bullied and I mean, just being outright treated wrong. And Kanye West, he's definitely feeling the need to come out and talk about this because he's such a huge icon. Kanye West wants the black community to succeed and he wants us to unite. That's why he's doing this and he's speaking about this, and he wants to say, look, first he made the first point, black people, stop holding your brothers and sisters back, and then he gave that example. Now he's saying, look, y'all over here tearing each other up behind this. And y'all shouldn't be tearing each other apart. Y'all should let each other speak freely. Y'all should let each other, be able to live however they want to live, without tearing each other apart. Now, the second part before I play this movie is he talked about he's the feelings, and Candace Owens is, she got the facts. So this is basically explaining that there's a little inversion. And normally, the male is more mental, and the female is more emotional. But this is the flip flop that I was talking about, and he's utilizing this to spread this message. So he is the male, and he's more about the feelings, the emotions, the subconscious, the flow, all that. And he's the mouthpiece for that. And now Candace Owens is the brain, but the heart and the brain, when they're both in the right place, they make a beautiful thing together, and the truth can shine.
This we're gonna get on in a bit.
If you ask the kid that stood in Tiananmen Square in front of the tank why he did it, he might not be able to explain that. But you can't diminish that moment if I can't give you the direct explanation.
But that kid had a righteous point of view that he really believed in, and that's why he was standing in front of the tank.
My righteous point of view is free thought. Now, if you want to ask me, I don't have...
They're talking about being righteous, righteousness, they're being selfless in this. They're not going to gain a whole bunch of fame and money. They're trying to do the right thing.
That's my boy. It's like so many rappers. You look at a video of Snoop Dogg loving Trump, but then he get in the office and now they don't love him. Like, Trump is one of rap's favorite people, right?
But we talked about this before.
An important note to take. Now, back then, Trump was one of rap's favorite people. And everybody knows that Donald Trump ain't perfect, and he's changed a lot from what he was back then. So he's pointing that out to open your eyes and say, what the hell, man? Y'all love this man. Now y'all hate him. And I think the reason why is because he's taking away some of their power, and their power is in the money, it's in the the benefits and the perks and all those things, So that's why I think they hate Donald Trump so much. Part of it, there's a lot of corruption and things going on, but I think It's about, oh, don't take away my power. You're taking away our power. And you're giving some of it back to the people. And that's why they hating on Donald Trump.
He was elected president. People in hip hop, it was an in thing to put Donald Trump in your rhyme somewhere.
And by the way, I am in hip hop, but I'm not just in hip hop. I'm a black person in the black community, but I'm not just that. I feel like one thing is people try to minimize me to artists, hip hop, black community. Yeah, I'm always gonna represent that, but I also represent the world.
You always represent the black community because, duh, identity politics, he is a black person.
You know what I mean? And I represent the now, and I represent what the possibilities of a new peaceful planet. We're at the beginning of it. You saw it in North Korea, but people denounced that.
So he talking about he represents the now. That's important. He's talking about, look, it's a new time, it's the new age. Everybody knows that. And it's just the beginning. So that's why he's so focused on right here, right now. If you focus on right here, right now, and then making these changes for the better right here, right now, the future will be better.
And you said this thing, you put this whole thing, people love to say all, every, blah, blah, blah. It's not that. It's 100 sides to every story. So if you talk about Trump, yeah, there's a laundry list of things that I don't have in front of me that my friends would text me or write me emails to say, he did this, 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 this. Some of them Obama did too, but it wasn't, it's loud. It's like, wow, the room is quiet in here. The room is quiet now. So okay.
Looks like everybody's nervous. He's getting too real.
And that never comes out. That's why they refer to fake news, because it can be skewed and stuff. It's like the media and the liberals and the echo chamber and all that is having the most sore loss of all time. That we're gonna just keep putting out. It's like torture porn. We're gonna keep showing you negative, 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 negative. When these are human beings, even like with George Bush, people said don't apologize. I'm like, wait a second, I just saw George Bush pushing George Bush Sr. in a wheelchair, and he just lost his wife. Do you know how bad I would want to go to George Bush and say, I'm sorry for hurting you. I was an artist, I was hurting when I went up to the telethon. I said something in the moment, but when I look at you.
So this is a very humble moment for Kanye West. And he's emphasizing, look, despite our differences of our lifestyles, despite our differences of our principles, the loss of life, especially with the Bush family, is such an important thing. Life is more important to him. He places a very high value on life, and to a certain degree, I completely understand. There are many things I disagree with the Bushes, for many reasons, but that's not for me to get into right now. But yeah, when there's death, it's a time to, it's a big deal. It's a time to mourn. It's not a time to, slash everybody's throats and kick them while they're down, so to speak.
You, as a dad and a family member, I'm sorry for hurting you. Think about Obama. Obama was the opioid to our pain. He pacified us, but he pissed the Nazis off even more. Hold on, bro. I'm on a wave right here. You talk every day. All right, this is what the hug. I don't need to put something. Let Jesus be free. So we're going to go and talk. I want to talk to the guys in Charlottesville on both sides. On both sides. You know what Obama was saying? Like, man, if you
both sides. There we go. We're establishing the dichotomy. Always remember, there's two sides to every story.
Statement in America. Whites are supreme in America. That's what we talk. I went home and my mom and my dad. Wow, they're all one. My wife said to my daughter, tell daddy what you learned at school. And she said, I learned that mama's white and I'm black. I said, damn, I wish I got the heads up. They said, no, we had to tell her because of Martin Luther King's birthday. But a white teacher told her that. So what does it mean to be black in America if a white teacher tells her that she's black? You might be Kanye West's daughter, but you black. My daughter was free. We start putting these ideas and ideals on people. That's why we are in a simulation. When you're 3 years old, 2 years old, you go and you hop up on a coffee table, and then your auntie that you don't really like comes to you and says, "Don't jump on that while you're playing. It's a coffee table." Now you're 3 years old. You don't care about coffee or a table. This went from being something that elevates you while you're playing to something that it's a distraction. You know, I can't even find the exact word. Obstruction to your joy. Now, by the time you're 30, by the time you're 40, by the time you're 50, how many?
All right, he had a very hard time, but man, good job, Kanye, putting them words together. To make it a little simpler, when he's talking about elevating, he's talking about you're pursuing your happiness, your little kid, you're having a good time, and when you're happy, this does elevate you, especially when it's constructive, you know, and then saying, okay, don't get on the coffee table, now you're coming in between me and my happiness. So maybe that little explanation helps more uh, than what Kanye said.
Coffee tables you have in your life that you're trying to make everyone happy. People need to start worrying about themselves. If I go and grab some water out the fridge and I'm in the studio, I'm not asking nobody if they want water. I'm not assuming. If you want water, you saw me grab the water. You can go grab your own water. We need to start being worried about ourselves and stop being worried about what other people think. And we have the right to free thought. And guess what? No, this is not the Malcolm X movie. No black person is going to touch Kanye West. We got love. Nobody finna touch me. Nobody.
Okay, so we're going to take a break, but I just have to ask one quick thing.
Yeah.
Based on what you just said here, it sounds to me you got precisely the reaction you wanted by wearing that hat.
I didn't want a reaction.
You wanted a reaction.
No.
You knew there was going to be a reaction.
I knew there was going to be a reaction, but I'm just living my life day by day, doing what I feel and what the Spirit calls upon me to do.
But it also opens up this dialogue that you're not apologizing, because everybody else, when they make a statement like that, they end up apologizing because they're so worried about what people say on social media.
Well, you know why? You know why when I went to visit them the first time,
After the election.
Yeah, and I took the tweets down and everything.
Yeah.
Because I was drugged the out, bro. I was drugged out. I was on opioids. And 2 days after I got off of opioids, and I was addicted to opioids, 2 days I got off of opioids, I'm in the hospital, right? I'm taking two. Hey, everyone listen to this, please. 2 days before I was in the hospital, I was on opioids. I was addicted to opioids. I had plastic surgery because I was trying to.
I'm sorry, but I don't know how good people are, at reading body behavior, but this entire interview, these guys right here got this little slight smug, or like this smirk of amusement on their face, and I guess they find it, maybe slightly amusing, but it's like a mixture of, oh crap, what we're gonna do? Oh crap, I hope he doesn't go out of control, but a little bit of laughter as well.
Look good for y'all. I got liposuction because I didn't want y'all to call me fat like y'all called Rob at the wedding and made him fly home before me.
He pointed out the corruption of the media, how they smear people's image.
Right? And they gave me opioids, right? And I started taking 2 of them and then driving to work on the opioids, right? Then my boy, and I always ask my boy, to hand me of his, we on tour, give me some weed, blah, blah, blah. So he had to go give me the opioids. And there was talks amongst my camp, like, Ye's popping pills, right? So when he handed it to me, he said, this is used to kill genius, right? So I didn't take it. 2 days later.
This is used to kill genius. This is used to kill genius. He rushed past it, but he snuck that in. Opioids are used to kill genius. So they will have, physiological, psychological effects with your brain. And this is coming from, obviously, got to be one of the best doctors in the world if he's dealing with Kanye West.
I'm in a hospital. I was taking 2 pills a day at that time. When I left the hospital, how many pills do you think I was given? 7. I went from taking 2 pills to taking 7. So the reason why I dropped those tweets and everything, because I was drugged the out, bro. And I'm not drugged out. These pills that they want me to take 3 of a day, I take 1 a week, maybe 2 a week. Y'all had me scared of myself, of my vision. So I took some pills so I wouldn't go to the hospital and prove everyone right. We are drugged out. We are following other people's opinions. We are controlled by the media. And today it all changes. You got Tupac and Lennon in that hallway. Today it all.
Remember that thing I was talking about with dichotomies? Tupac and Lennon. You can look them up, figure that out. But they were both sacrificed. And Kanye's about to say, he's willing to be sacrificed for this cause. He ain't gonna go down like no punk. He ain't gonna just, he gonna fight to his last breath. But he is willing to sacrifice himself, for the betterment of all of us.
Changes. We need to think how to think free. We need to be free thinkers. Then we need to learn how to feel free. People say feel free, but we don't even know how to feel free or think free. Say what you feel, positive or negative. I just got off the phone with J. Cole. He said, how you feel when they said the Crips is gonna kill you? I said, man, that was the headline. But when they said they wanted to beat me up, I said, that's great. They're my brothers. They love me. They don't want nothing to happen to me. They just want to be subsistent to me. I love dads. I love the Crips. I love the blood. I love everyone.
But you and I have had a talk about this, Kanye.
So there we go. We're right, getting to the middle of it, and it's about love. He gonna be on that. Everything is all about love. He's all about one love. It ain't about killing each other and conquering and dividing and shit.
That you say you have to love everybody. I just don't believe that, because I think there are people who are evil and people who want to hurt you. And I think you've got to distinguish people, and however you want to do it, but you've got to distinguish this group from this group, or this person from this group.
Okay.
The people want to hear everybody's, you want to hear everybody's side, but people have to say.
It's probably better just to have Harvey, because I got too much to say, and when y'all both say something, I'm just going to confuse my stream of thought.
Okay.
I love you, but you can sit here. That's cool. Now,
Thanks.
I was gonna stand on this chair right now, right? You know why I'm not standing on the chair right now? Do you all remember an Oprah Winfrey moment?
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all remember Oprah Winfrey? Who's that? Tom Cruise. That's it. He was in love, right? He jumped on the couch, and what happened? Now he's crazy. So because of that, I'm not gonna hop on my coffee table. That makes him crazy? Okay,
So there you go, right there. There you go. He used that example at the beginning about the coffee table. So, like I said at the beginning, with the example, it was, you are coming in between me and my happiness. So now here we go. He won't get on the chair and celebrate, enjoy about, I guess having this revelation and speaking out the truth and having this weight lifted off his shoulders, because if he does it, then they're going to obstruct his joy, and smear his image. Everybody's gonna blow up and smear his image and call him cuckoo and crazy, and then in essence, like that example, come in between him and his happiness.
Oh, you're more crazy to be a Scientologist. So Scientology is a lesser religion than any other religion, right? Even aliens. Wait a second. Scientology is a lesser religion than any other religion. That's what you're saying? It's not believable and it's not a religion. So what's a religion? Well, they're not classified as a religion. And what's the reason for that? Financial gain? Oh, they don't have as much money as the church.
Yeah, you're gonna lose this one, Alec. You're gonna lose this. We definitely got a little off.
Okay, so hold on. No, what is it? We haven't. We're on now. We're on now. You remember my idea that how many people are feeling? How many people felt something that I said today? Raise a hand if you felt something that I said today.
He's asking, did it resonate? Do you feel like...
Do you feel that I'm being free and I'm thinking free? Yes.
So, he's asking about that because, he's like, look, deep down in y'all's heart, even though we're all in this charade together, y'all get my message. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Deep down in your heart, right? That's why he keeps saying feeling, because he's talking about in your heart. You see what I'm saying? So deep down in your heart, you know what I'm saying. Even though we're in this whole simulation, his word is simulation, or this matrix, or this whole establishment, we're in the charade together. You feeling what I'm saying, right? And obviously everybody is, silently, but yeah.
I think what you're doing right now is actually happening. And the reason why I feel like that is because Kanye, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. But there is fact and real world, real life consequence behind everything.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna pay attention. This is a dichotomy. We're gonna get to the end. Now he's disagreeing with him. So now think about those two absolutes. You got one absolute, where I'm creating this to kind of explain, because this is how they communicate, and the truth is in the middle. So on one side, you got Kanye with time. He's Mr. High and Mighty, Mr. Establishment. He way up there. A lot of power, a lot of fame, a lot of genius, innovation, vision, all that. So you got him on the other side, and he's like, he's like a god. He's like above us, the elite, I guess is the way. So on one side, you got on the absolute, he's Mr. Elite, Mr. Powerful, and he says, okay, slavery's a choice. But then later on, he says the media is influencing people and making them think wrong and smearing people's images, and then now this other guy on this other side, on this one side you got Mr. Yeezy, and he's with time.
That you just said. And while are making
and that's he's above. And then you got this dude right here, and he's just like us. He's regular, typical dude, trying to get ahead, trying to make it work in life. So he's on the other side. He's that other pillar, that other absolute, right? Now on this other absolute, you see that lion right there, So that lion is kind of pertaining to, the lion of destruction, and how he comes to, how you say, steal, kill, and destroy us regular folks that are just trying to live an everyday life.
living the life that you've earned by being a genius, the rest of us in society have to deal with these threats to our lives. We have to deal with the marginalization that has come from the 400 years of slavery that you said for our people was a choice.
Now remember, he's very passionate, and I understand where he's coming from. But the truth is in the middle. So the point that I'm making is between Kanye's statement and this dude's statement, if you put it in the middle, I think you'll get a more clearer answer. But yeah, he's right. Being minimized, the danger, the threat, and all that people face. Being set up for failure. To a certain degree, yeah. I'm not gonna just knock it off and say it don't exist, especially as a black man. I can understand a lot of situations, been through a number of situations where it's like, damn, why you want to make me the bad guy? Just leave me be. Where it's like, damn, do you want to fight? Do we have to fight? Let's work together. As a black man, I ain't trying to go to war with everybody. But at the same time, I gotta defend myself.
Every day we have to walk into that truth while you choose to say things that, to be honest with you, dog, are nonsensical. You want to think freely? That's fine. I'll combat your free thought with my free thought because mine is grounded in a reality that I've been giving and a reality.
So there we go. So he's taking battle, to pay attention to the words. Battle your free thought with my free thought. You put them together, those two absolutes, right? Remember that dichotomy, playing those two sides together. Boom, the truth is in the middle. Now there go Kanye pointing at him, saying, I got you. I got you. You said it yourself. You said that you are grounding yourself in that reality. So he's pointing at him like, that we have the potential. You're acknowledging the potential to change our reality. But you know that you are grounding yourself in that reality. Even though it's the reality that you may go through right now. Just for right now. It's not permanent. And that's why he's pointing at him.
That I'm going to change, but I'm not going to do it by pretending.
Then he said change.
Are on the same team as me. And frankly, I'm disappointed. I'm appalled. And brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something, to me, that's not real. That's the way I feel. Stand on all the coffee tables you want to stand on. Say whatever you want to say, but don't throw a stone, then hide your hand like the rest of us are just going to swallow it. Yay, be yay. I'm off it forever. Do you. But remember, the life that I live is as a real person, an actual person.
Now, the thing is, he said something. He said, grounded in reality. This reality has been forced upon us. It is a choice. Just like when I said slavery is a choice. The reality.
Now, when he said forced upon us, and then he flipped right back around and said a choice. Everybody's like, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. So let me break that down. The reality that was forced upon us, they did it by manipulating our minds. Okay? They manipulated our minds. And this is kind of like Weezy's, this is kind of Kanye West's perspective. But they manipulated our minds and changed our frequencies around and got us feeling some type of way to where we just cutting each other down left and right. So we could choose to not, be like that no more. So don't get confused when he says this reality forced upon us and then immediately afterwards, this choice.
We can make our own reality. We can talk about history, but not too long. We need to talk about our now because we can fix and start loving each other now. I say we have no enemies. We don't have enemies. Black people have a tendency to focus and march when a white person kills a black person or wears a hat. But when it's 700 kids being killed in Chicago, it's okay. It's okay for blacks to kill blacks. But if it's a white thing...
I feel you, Kanye. I feel you, Kanye. That's how everybody act. But it's not. It's really not about that. That's what it looks like. It's the media. They hide. They minimize the fact that there are a lot of good black organizations trying to help folks out there.
But there are black people. Okay, wait a second. Now this is a problem. We have to. You're too far. You have to be closer to me. I'm here right now. There are black people working in the single brother. Don't scream because it will make us look crazy. Okay, I'm looking for the dance. No, when you scream and you don't talk, it doesn't look right. Let me point this upon you.
Okay, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about because there's two different versions of somebody else's truth. This is two different versions of somebody's truth. So he gets up and he's talking slavery, right? Okay, I'm not enslaved, so that is like I don't need to insult his reality.
Kanye, come on over. I just want to give him a hug.
Right, like I don't need to.
No, I think we might want to fight him. I want to give him a hug.
Okay,
Kanye, let's finish that.
Look, Kanye,
I love you, and I want to give you a hug. I feel like you want to fight me right now, but I love you. I don't fight with my fist, man. I've been through that. This is my saying. So if I come over there, you're not gonna fight me? I'm not gonna kick Kanye West to TMZ. Bro, you gotta be responsible, man. Bro, I'm sorry I hurt you. You gotta be responsible. I'm sorry I hurt you, bro. Your voice is too big. I'm sorry I hurt you, bro. I love you, bro. I'm sorry I hurt you with my words, yeah, bro.
Homeboy is saying you got to be responsible because, he feel like Kanye is downplaying and minimizing what, is going on. And he truly feels like, there's this rise in racism, and this is kind of an old interview, and I don't know what the hell happened as recently, but YouTube have been showing more videos and rises of it. But the bottom line is he's saying, don't act like racism don't exist. Don't act like there aren't difficulties that, especially a black man, has to face in life. I completely understand. Like I said, many times in my life, I ain't trying to sit here go to war with it. Not a damn person. All I wanted to do was, learn something or do a job or just go out, succeed, or just be happy, just go be happy. I ain't trying to mess nobody over, but when everybody want to make you the bad guy, everybody want to go to war with you, I mean, you got to defend yourself, and he feel like Yeezy is downplaying all of that. And he's probably just thinking about flashbacks and all the crap that he's gone through. That's why he's so emotional. And Yeezy's like, look, let me hold you. Let me give you a hug real quick because Yeezy knows, he's looking at him. He says, shit, there goes his past. We talked about it a little bit, but he's holding on to that past, man. He gonna have to let some of that go. Let me alleviate that pain, because I'm all about that emotion. I'm all about that feeling. I'm Yeezy, so let me go on, let me calm him down a little bit. He's having all these flashbacks. I see it. So when you gave him that hug right there, he was able to release some of that pain, and the guy was able to let go of the pain of the past, And this is very important. This is a very important, thing that we're seeing, because like Yeezy said, we could talk about the past and learn from the past, reflect on the past, but not for too long. So after this, he gonna let it go, and things are gonna be cool.
I love you, bro. Bro, I didn't mean to say things that hurt you. I didn't mean to wear the hat out the blue and shock so many people and that gave them a way out of the pain. I understand that gave them pain and made them see pain. But guess what? When I went into the hospital, we're now in the hospital. TMZ is the hospital to fix the world. Obama. Bro, that's not true. Listen, first of all, calm. What's your name? I'm Ben.
It's not true.
And I'm sorry for disappointing you, Ben. Yeah, listen. Calm. Yeah. What you said up there a second ago, the statistic of black and white violence is true. What they don't tell you is there are people dedicating their lives to working throughout the problems of black people. There are black people every day moving around. They're all over the place that are working towards this. Like every single day, people are trying to fix this problem. The narrative that black people don't care about black lives until a white person takes it is false. That is not true. But the problem is the people that are doing this work in communities every day, guys all over the place, they don't get the type of reverence, they don't get the type of shine, they don't get the type of light spotted on. What I'm trying to say is while we have all of these conversations about stuff that gets covered on the news, who's gonna talk about what doesn't get covered on the news? Like to me, for me, for a lot of years, the dude that inspired me to be more than what I
Who's gonna talk about what don't get covered on the news? So, for example, especially when Donald Trump became president, news was 99.999% of the time, screw Donald Trump. Donald Trump's bad. Donald Trump's a monster. Russia, Russia, Russia. Let's go to war. Impeach Donald Trump. And then they have all these artists, pop out with kill Donald Trump and blow up the White House. And, it was all those types of things being covered by the news. So guess what's not being covered by the news? Everything that is important, everything that is relevant, and that's why we got a lot of these alternative channels, like on YouTube, and you can go to other social media, and I highly recommend that we continue, to spread the real news as individuals, as we the people, because even these little news organizations, let's say one day they get their act right. Let's say one day that they do decide to report the truth. But guess what? Them little organizations, they can't cover it all. All of us together, we the people, if we work together, we could report many of the things that are not covered. That way people have more access to the truth.
Was in Baton Rouge, that was you. Ask everybody in this room for years. Ask everybody in here how many times we've had a Kanye West story and I stood there the only person to defend Kanye West because of what you meant to me. And then after that, you slapped me in my face by getting next to people who mean me harm and who don't even care about the fact about being honest about the fact that they mean me harm.
I think that we have to get next to everyone. If we don't like Trump, we have to talk to them. We have to talk. We have to talk because Trump is a huge.
There you go. So, still playing those two opposites to each other, but this is a very important moment. He's like, why are you going to those that hurt you? Why are you dealing with people that hurt you? It makes no sense, and like the animal side of our brain, that totally makes sense. We don't want to be around danger. We don't want to be around, threatening environment, whatever. And now on the other side, Kanye's saying this is where courage comes into place. And with courage, we will engage a conversation. And with the conversation, we will turn the minds. And when we turn the minds, we will turn their hearts. And when we turn their hearts, they will act on that change in their heart. So it connects, And I don't think he says all of that, but I'm just showing you right there how it's going to change. How the metamorphosis takes place.
Human being also, and he's in a very powerful position, and he's doing a lot of things to actually help business owners be able to go past all these fake laws and rules and Kevin can give you the facts better than that, but we need to speak to people. Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing expecting a different result. So we keep on saying, I hate you, you. How are we going to get a different result out of hate? Why don't we just try love? Why don't we just try love? Why can't it be okay for an influential rapper in the black community to go up to the president and talk to him about how we can make a change one by one? We have the resources for a peaceful world. I I believe that Kim Jong-un didn't believe that Obama was crazy enough to come at him. You know, sometimes you need some crazy to change something. Steve Jobs was crazy. Now we all on Steve Jobs' phones. They say Trump's crazy. They say I'm crazy. But I'm here to show love. And we're going to make it through. I know I disappointed you today, brother. And I know I disappointed the black community when I wore the hat. And I'm sorry for disappointing you. But like I just told J. Cole on the phone right now, it's a bigger plan. And I'm just doing what the universe told me. Now, I'm not drugged the out, but I did pop a 911 yesterday before I got here to make sure I didn't prove everybody right. So I do think that pharmaceuticals can be extremely helpful. Everything in moderation, though.
Kanye, we are going to take a break right now. We are back, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this was forgetting about particular views, issues. And the reason I was really interested in doing this with Kanye is because he got me thinking about the notion of free thought, which honestly, on that level, I completely agree with him. I think free thought is almost dead in this country, that people are bullied into feeling a certain way, and if you don't believe what somebody else does, they will bully you and boycott you and try to kill you. And that's what I was connecting with, not specific.
Damn. Let that soak in. That crap that he just said right there. Damn, dude. Bully you, boycott you, and try to kill you. This is what is going on with these folks right now. And this ain't even the elite of the elite. These are just like middle class and up. Oh, damn.
Specific issues, but you tell us what the root of all of this is. What are we talking about? Are we talking about free thought, free love? What is it?
It's free love. It's the spirit. You know, you had, in the office, you had Tupac and John Lennon on the wall. I don't want to be the third one, but I'm willing to be the third one for free love on that wall. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
If I say I love Dr. Jan Adams that performed surgery, my mother's final surgery, people don't want to accept forgiveness and love.
I don't want to be the third one, but I'm willing to be the third one. For free love. I think he's willing to do a blood sacrifice of himself. Damn. That's powerful. To be willing to sacrifice your life. Wow.
Like even Harvey, you said you can't love everyone when we talked about the Jan Adams.
And I believe that.
But does God want you to love everyone? Well, first of all, do you believe in God?
Yes, but I don't necessarily think. I know people say that, Kanye. I don't know. I don't know where that comes from.
If you start thinking about love and start feeling love and thinking about forgiveness, then you can overcome things.
I was able to talk to Kanye last week at some length about this, and it really is honestly, this is what inspired me. That I think you were right. That we are a country of intolerance right now. And as long as we are so intolerant that we try to kill people who disagree with us, we are going to destroy ourselves. And you got me thinking about this, and I've been obsessed with it. I think about it in the pool, I think about it at the gym, I think about it when I'm walking, and I think about it at work. And I've been thinking about this, and I think it's a really valid point. That said, there are people out there who still want to hurt you, and the question is, how do you break the wall down, and how do you come together? Right. But I don't think it's necessarily by saying I love you.
Right, and that's fair. That's actually fair.
We have free thought. I disagree. I think love conquers all. I think love. I know, not think. I know from the bottom of my gut and my soul and my spirit and my subconscious that love is the strongest force in the universe. And right now, we need love. We need the moment when North Korea and South Korea connect. We need the moment when we go down to was Charlottesville, and we go down and visit, go to those houses. We need to break down race. We talk about race so much, we don't even talk about class. I want to talk about class for a second. There's a class war happening right now too, and the class war might be the class war is one of the reasons why Trump won, because Obama was so high class that it stopped speaking to the middle and the lower class. It's so classy. And to break the class system, we have to start by loving ourselves, because what you say to somebody is a reflection of how you feel about yourself when you put that energy in the world.
We gotta start loving ourselves. So, cause and effect. You don't love yourself, you probably won't, radiate a whole bunch of love and positivity. Cause and effect. And then, the flip side, if you're not getting any type of love whatsoever, from anybody, then you're less likely to have the knowledge or the feeling of what the hell love is. So you got to understand both ends.
I love myself. What you are seeing is actually, this is the most confident I've been since
You
my
can
mom
always
passed.
love yourself. You can always choose to love
You
yourself.
had this conversation with Kanye. I'm obviously personally very interested in this, the concept of that black man have to be perfect at all times.
And it was just a point about Hollywood and the media perception of black men. This perfect idea of superhero with Obama or Michael Jordan. I want to show people that it's okay to screw up and you still can.
So that's the Hollywood vision. That's the Hollywood utopia. That's what's the deal with them. In their world, in the Hollywood world, you gotta walk on water if you black. And it's not reasonable. It's not reasonable. So that's why he's saying, look, I'm here to say, I'm here to be that voice to say it's okay to screw up. Even though the world expects you to be absolutely perfect, like refined gold, it's okay to mess up. You're gonna have to even mess up to grow in the first place, So he's countering that Hollywood vision, that Hollywood utopia that, the only ones who's gonna make it is, the black man who walks on water.
Make it through things.
We are out of time, but I gotta say, one of the reasons I wanted to do this, people can disagree with, lots of things in this world, and I don't agree with everything you say for sure, but what I love is the idea of talking about something that is really lost in this country. And I know you say free love, and that's important, I know, but free thought to me is hugely important. And I feel like it lost it.
Do you believe in love?
I do believe in love.
Do you believe love can conquer all?
I believe love can. I believe love can help, but I don't think it can conquer. I think reasoning, I think the brain is as important as the heart. And I think that until we allow our brains to open up and use the capacity that we have and not feel straitjacketed, you're never gonna conquer this world with a heart. In my view, you are.
Makes perfect sense. So on one end, this is the whole, this goes right back to my Holy Bible and the whole principalities and all this experiences that I've been through. They make perfect valid points. I already said it and I'll repeat it. One's having in the emotional stance, the other, and the other one's having the mental, so kind of like Candace is the mental and Kanye was the emotional. Now in this case, Kanye's, the white, and he's the emotional, and then the other guy, he's the mental, and he's black. And then if you do the flip side of that, according to certain esoteric knowledge or whatever, I think the black actually represents the emotional. It's tied to the lower nature, and then the white is tied to the mind. So there we go with the flip flop. So we saw those two opposites playing against each other, and then the truth was somewhere in the middle. We saw a lot of things that I've already discussed, but the point of the matter is where he's coming from. He's like, look, it's an information war. We got to win the minds of the people back. If we can win the minds of the people back and feed healthy information into their brains, then everything will the rampancy, the craziness will go away. And then what Kanye's saying is, we need love, and love will conquer all. So if we could take both of those things, put them together, the truth is in the middle, we'll take them, put them together, then that's how we win. There's the message of the entire thing. They said how to win.
A hugely important person, and your voice has to be heard. And your voice has to be heard. Thank you for the time. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I know this took a while, but I just want to say thanks. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share this video. But that's my interpretation. I put the entire interview because I wanted there to be consistency. I didn't want any misunderstandings. So feel free to go anywhere or chop it up or whatever. But hopefully this helps a little bit. My next video is going to be on Childish Gambino, This Is America. My interpretation.